Hey there, how's it going? Moderately voiced here with another game. This time, we're playing this magical girl as a bitch. Why? Because I fucking love this. It's absolutely hilarious. And it is, the characters at least, are pretty much fully voiced, so I only have to narrate stuff. It's great. Alright, but without further ado, let's get started. It was a dark and stormy Monday. Like any other day of autumn, the sky was overcast, but the students of... I can't even speak right. But the students of middling middle school were unfazed by the gloom. Instead, the halls were unusually charged with electric excitement and spooktacular anticipation.
And last, but certainly not least, today marks the first day of Halloween Spirit Week. Woo!
And we're off.
It's time to decorate your homeroom.
Someone watched Yu-Gi-Oh! Me too, dude.
First place gets a prize.
Yeah.
That's right. The first place class gets their own pumpkin pie and ice cream party. So, put your best effort in, everyone. If you want. More info online or, around.
I love that the thing does sparkles when you move it. we're really magical.
Keep an eye out for those Spirit Week posters, y'all. Happy spooky season, mascots.
I heard Mrs. Ramirez's class had something really
Stu.
good planned for their deco. Like guaranteed when good.
Yeah. They're just trying to intimidate us by spreading rumors.
Hold on. Stu and Den. Where's just T?
Besides, remember last year? Everyone said that one homeroom class had it in the bag, but then there was that fire.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Oh yeah, the 8-foot skeleton incident.
Yeah, when you accidentally summon a demon.
Exactly. Did they ever find out who let that skunk loose?
It was me.
I don't think so.
Well, the point is, who knows what'll happen this year?
I guess we do have a lot of talented people in our class, like...
Oh, hey, Tabby!
Hey, there she be.
Good morning, Tabby.
Tabby was not having a good morning. In fact, Tabby never had a good morning when she was at school. There were too many people looking her way, watching her every move, waiting for her to trip up so they could laugh at her.
They're always sneering at me.
Mm-hmm.
Like they think their little clicks are too good for me.
Right? How could they?
Hey, Tabby.
There's our T. There's our T to make student. Good old Tonathan.
Like I'm less than them. Less than human.
Man, Tabby is so cool.
This is just the kid from what is it? Meet the Robinsons, where he has like the unicorn binder. Everyone's like, hey, how's it going? Nice binder, and he's like, they all hated me.
Yeah, the real aloof type, like a spy or a secret agent, or somebody who's undercover.
Pretty sure those are all the same thing.
Yeah, technically.
I always want to ask her to hang out, but I'm like super intimidated. Think she would say yes?
Not at all.
Just because we're in the same homeroom? Not a chance.
See, Stu knows what's up, dude. Stu knows what's up.
Way too cool for us.
Tabby grew out of wanting friends fast. Endless bullying will do that to someone. She couldn't even imagine being that naive anymore. Tabby was fully aware that this was her destiny, to be alone, unwanted, forcibly isolated.
Excuse me. Need to get to my locker. Hello? You good?
Eden. Molten rage and mild embarrassment bubbled through Tabby as she stared into the face of her ultimate nemesis, Eden. Eden, something or other. Last names didn't matter. It was how he treated her that made her seethe with frustration.
I hate him.
I hate him. I hate him! Always ready to tear me down at the first sign of weakness. I can see it in his eyes now. He's going to.
Listen, are you gonna move or do I have to move you? I don't want to be late to
Whoa.
class. Come on, let me through.
Was that a threat?
What?
Tabby slapped a hand to her mouth, worrying she had thrown herself in unnecessary danger. Who knew how bullies like Eden might react to being questioned? She looked around in vain at the crowd, milling around them, not seeing a single friendly face.
I can't trust any of these bystanders to stand up for me. If only there was a teacher around.
Is that the bell? I'm just gonna go for it. Excuse me.
Tabby watched in horror as Eden reached for her. Obviously, defend ourselves. We're being attacked. Before she even knew what was happening, Tabby's hand moved on defensive instinct, making contact with Eden's face. The resulting smack was pitiful to hear, and Eden seemed more confused than hurt.
Ow!
Nice.
I was just trying to defend myself. You were going to hurt me.
Who's screaming? What's going on here? Come on, kids. Class is almost starting. Why are the two of you still loitering around?
Because they're delinquents. Tabby spun towards her homeroom teacher's voice in recognition, searching for his authoritative presence.
Mr. Teacher, did you see him?
Sorry, Teach. Tabby just wouldn't move.
The hallway rapidly emptied out around them, as any stragglers and witnesses fled to their respective classrooms.
I just need to get my books. Promise.
Is there a reason you can't move away from Eden's locker, Tabby?
Tabby gawked incredulously at her homeroom teacher, and then stepped off to the side, shaking her head no.
How could Mr. Teacher take the side of a known bully?
Honestly, she should have known. No one would be on her side, not even the ones in charge.
Since I'm on my way to class too, and I have the worst headache from moving pumpkins all morning across campus, I'll give you all a pass.
Hey, nice.
You better be in your seats by the time I get there. But no running.
Hey, you know what? Mr. Teacher's pretty alright.
That includes you too, Caleb. I know you're just waiting for your friends, but don't let them make you late.
Caleb? Alright. Oh, okay. For just a second, Tabby considered speaking up and pleading her case, but the moment passed as quickly as it came. Mr. Teacher didn't bother to linger, all but jogging off to meet a different group of students. Tabby stared sullenly at his back before walking briskly in the direction of her classroom.
All right, settle down, kids.
Mr. Teacher attempted to rein his homeroom class in for the 5th time that morning. What was that about his authoritative presence? But, just like every other year, the students were too excited about Halloween Spirit Week to pay attention. He decided to launch into his 3-part lesson on the history of Halloween anyway.
Halloween originated from the pagan festival Samhain, which marked the end of the harvest and the dwindling barrier between humans and the other world.
A portion of the students fell for his well-rehearsed hook and began to quiet down.
It's easy to forget about all of that in the modern-day Halloween traditions, but if you take a closer look, you'll see that many have deeper historical roots. It's really quite fascinating stuff.
Even so, a handful of students continued to discuss their Halloween plans in hushed excitement.
I can't wait for you guys to see how awesome I made my costume for the Halloween party.
Ah yes, hushed excitement.
The lady with the super freaky haunted house on my block helped me design it.
Ooh, okay, I'm not gonna lie. People who go all out on Halloween and make like a whole experience to walk up to the front door, you're the real ones, okay? There's not a lot of you. But the few of you that are out there, right? The onesies, the twosies that are in the neighborhood, take pride in your work. Because it's cool as hell, okay? Don't let anybody tell you different.
I still can't decide whether to be a zombie werewolf or a vampire ghost.
Be all for it, dude. Be a zombie wolf pyre ghost.
Unless... Do you think I could be a zombie werewolf vampire ghost?
Yes. Yes, I do. I believe in you.
Oh, are we talking costumes? $20, my monster costume is the scariest.
How fitting for the bully to love terrifying people.
Your face already scares me.
Good one, Tabby. The other kids nearby laughed in surprise too, which caught Mr. Teacher's attention.
Is something funny? Tabby, do you have something to share with the class?
Tabby felt her stomach drop as the whole class turned to stare at her. Of course, he let his favorite students get away with talking during class, but not her. Tabby tried to swallow the lump forming in her throat, but she just became more nervous by the second.
I think we're all just excited to dress up for Halloween. I know I can't wait to decorate homeroom.
Hey, good save, dude.
That's great, but I still have 30 more exciting slides about Halloween throughout the decades.
30 more, yep. The class collectively groaned. Tabby breathed a quiet sigh of relief.
It's really quite interesting. There's fascinating tie-ins with the Day of the Dead and the glorious gourds of harvest. I could wax poetic about it.
All right. On a very real note, though, teachers that get into it like Mr. Teacher do are awesome. And there needs to be more of them.
You already gave this presentation before.
Well, I did more research, and now I have extra footnotes.
Yeah, look, he's excited, okay? The class collectively groaned again.
Oh, fine. I don't know how I'm supposed to have a normal class this week anyway. Why don't we put a twist on it by giving historical context to our proposed decorations?
What, reenact the Salem witch trials?
That's a cool idea.
Yeah.
We could pretend to burn you.
What? He totally just threatened me in front of the class. Surely Mr. Teacher won't let that slide.
Yeah, what the hell, man? You don't just threaten to burn someone alive in front of the class like that.
Yeah, Tabby would be such a good witch.
You know what, Jonathan? I don't think we like you anymore. I don't think we like you anymore, Jonathan. Get out of here.
I don't know if the school board would approve of that.
He's just going to brush it off?
All right, kids. I'll start dividing the class decoration types into groups and share a mini lesson about each of them. So, listen up. For instance, why do you think pumpkins became associated with Halloween?
Because pumpkin is close to pumpkin, and you gotta have a pumpkin at Halloween. All right, you gotta have the pump. You have the pump king, and then you have the pumpkin. Right? You can't get them mixed up. One is the king of pump, whatever that means to you. Whatever that means to you personally. And then the other one is just the king of Halloween.
There's something else that's happening around the same time.
Harvest Moon?
If you want to take care of the jack-o'-lanterns, try and answer.
Take care of the jack-o'-lanterns? Eager hands shot up in the air. Mr. Teacher picked out one of them.
Because it's harvest season?
Ding, 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 ding! You got it! Harvest season is decorative gourd season, folks.
Yeah, hell yeah, Den. Look, Stu and Den are rocking it. Jonathan? I don't know, dude. I don't know about Jonathan, dude.
Carving pumpkins was a tradition before Halloween.
Huh.
But the term jack-o'-lantern started with Stingy Jack, an Irish legend that will give you the heebie-jeebies.
Will it really? Wait a minute. How does the old thing go? It's like Peter, pumpkin eater, had a wife but couldn't keep her, put her in a pumpkin shell, and there he kept her very well. Yeah, that has nothing to do with Jack. What? Tabby tuned the rest of the lecture out, only listening for what themed decoration was being offered next. Mr. Teacher droned on and on until finally...
Why do you think Halloween was associated with death?
Because winter was gonna happen soon and people died during winter back in the day. I mean, they still die during the winter in the modern day, but you know.
Whoever gets this one gets to be in charge of making all of our skulls and skeletons.
Ooh. Tabby was never a class participation kind of girl, but now her hand flew up into the air. Mr. Teacher looked at Tabby, eyebrows raised in acknowledgement. By some Halloween miracle, she could see her name forming on his lips.
Probably because winter is coming, right?
Fuck you, dude. Fuck you. I know you're the exact kind of person. I've ran into you in classes before, and you kind of suck. Like, you're right. But fucking watch it.
Back then, lots of people died in the winter.
Hey, yeah.
That's correct, Eden. Winters 2,000 years ago meant...
Tabby seethed at the injustice of it all.
How could they do this to me?
How could they do this to you? Tabby was the only one with a special connection with skeletons, but every single year. Well, only last year, but last year, Eden swept in and snatched what she wanted, what she deserved.
Hey, I had my hand up. He interrupted.
Mr. Teacher looked at Tabby, taken aback, as if he forgot she even existed.
Oh, well, you can answer the next question.
Tabby gritted her teeth. She really didn't want to let this go, but everyone was staring at her stupid cheeks were getting redder and redder.
That's just stupid. It's not fair.
Even as Tabby clapped a hand to her mouth at her outburst, Mr. Teacher raised an eyebrow in judgment. The angry part of Tabby wished she could smack the disapproving expression off his face. But her frustration withered away as she crumpled into herself, heart sinking.
I'll always be the first to get picked on. And the last pick for everything else.
Right? It's messed up.
How about you let me continue the lesson and the two of you can work together?
How about you let Tabby be in charge of the fucking skeletons, guy?
This is Spirit Week, and I really don't want to give any detentions for disrupting class.
Oh, you mean like the guy who just blurted out the answer instead of the person you were actively looking at and about to say their name?
Sounds cool. I'm sure Tabby will come up with something really freaky. You know, given how into this stuff she is.
Oh yeah, totally. She's the type to freak people out. It's awesome.
These things that you're saying aren't as positive as you think.
Too bad Tabby works alone.
Right? See? Stu knows what's up.
Like Batman. Ooh, or the Joker.
What? Neither of them work alone. Both of them have sidekicks and shit. Joker has a whole, well, I mean, yeah, Batman has the Robins, all fucking, what, 5 or 6 of them? And then the Joker, not only does he have Harley Quinn for a minute, he's got all kinds of minions. What are you talking about? Eden grinned at Tabby. Tabby felt a horrified shiver run down her spine, and she braced herself for what was coming.
She looks like him too, if you turned his smile upside down.
Oh, that's rude. The other students tittered in that typical middle school fashion.
Hey, for real, Tabby would be the best villain.
Tonathan, get the fuck out of here, dude. Get the fuck out of here, Tonathan. Get out of here.
They're laughing at me now.
Right?
They're all laughing at me because of him.
Yeah, fuck Eden. All my homies hate Eden.
Settle down, class. And that's not nice, Eden.
I'm just kidding. But yeah,
Holy
no, that was a
joking.
little fucked.
Tabby got me good earlier too. That's just how we do, right, Tabs?
Oh, no. Nah, okay, no. I was gonna try to be cool with Eden for a minute. Nah, that actually is not. We don't, that's not how we do. Eden held out a fist towards Tabby. Tabby fixed him with her best death glare.
Classic Tabby.
Well, Tabby, if you want, you can work with Eden and...
I am not working with Eden.
There's still a couple of other decorations up for grabs.
She scowled at Mr. Teacher.
He's still picking Eden over me? Why? Why do they all love him so much? What do they see in a bully like him?
Right? It's not like he's fairly personable and kind of rolls with the punches a little bit. Nothing to do with that. The class moved on, but Tabby just sat, reliving the feeling of everyone laughing at her. Soon all the decorations were assigned and the class split off into their working groups. Slowly, the room began to look more and more spooktacular. As a reward for their hard work, Mr. Teacher handed out spooky stickers spouting Halloween facts all the while. But of course, he skipped over Tabby entirely.
Hey, how come Tabby isn't helping?
Psst. Tabby, do you want to join my group?
Shut up, Jonathan.
It's not too late to team up if you want to do skeletons.
You shut up too, Eden. Reject Jonathan's invitation. They were clearly taunting her. No point in staying around a bunch of bullies. Tabby started packing up her bag, watching the clock anxiously so she could be the first one out of class when the bell rang.
I really think you should have been the one to do skeletons. We can talk to Mr. Teacher together if you like.
Finally, someone who gets it. Tabby's mind struggled to make sense of what was happening.
Wait, is he talking to me? What was his name again?
She had never even spoken to this popular kid before, much less seen him approach her general vicinity.
He's not making fun of me, is he?
Listen, you're not the only one Eden's burned before. Maybe together, we can finally knock him down a peg.
This isn't a trick, is it?
I am Calum, and this is no trick. I'll stand by your side.
I don't know, dude. I've seen enough anime. You got a little bit of a sly look to you. I feel like you're gonna disappear during weird times. Caleb patted Tabby on the shoulder and she recoiled, almost hissing at him. Personal space, please. Right? Get the fuck off me, dude. But then, oddly enough, Tabby felt a tingle on her shoulder where he had touched her, like butterflies were dancing on her skin. Gross. She wasn't developing a crush, was she? Galen gave her a small smile.
So what do you say? Shall we tackle this together?
Well, wasn't that what she had always wanted? To have someone see her, really see her as a person worth talking to? Now here was someone who was ready to back her up. At last.
Okay. We can stay behind after class then.
Perfect. I'll get Eden to stick around and we can tell Mr. Teacher what happened.
What? No! Just the two of us. I don't want him around.
We can make it every time. Alright.
No. Tabby, trust me, he needs to be there.
No! He'll just ruin everything by charming Mr. Teacher, like always.
Right? With this stupid, friendly, and personable personality? What the heck?
I'm not going if Eden is.
Tabby crossed her arms.
All right, as you wish.
Caleb inclined his head at Tabby in thoughtful agreement. As the rest of the students continued to work on bringing that Halloween spirit to life, Tabby bounced in her seat, almost vibrating in place with sudden energy. She barely heard Mr. Teacher announce to the class that it was time to clean up. Not long after, the bell rang. The other students shuffled out of the door until there was only Caleb and Tabby left. Tabby turned her critical gaze towards Mr. Teacher and prepped herself to approach. Mr. Teacher hummed to himself, trying to ignore the grouchy elephant in the room. He reminded himself that he became a teacher because he wanted to inspire the next generation. He genuinely cared about his lessons and wanted everyone to enjoy his classes. But, for reasons out of his control, kids could be real shitheads. There were kids who turned his lessons out, kids who rolled their eyes at everything he said, even kids who managed to scowl at him for a full hour. Kids like Tabitha Bones. Her expression had been so disarming, so spooky, that he had been too nervous to even go near her. Now she was standing in front of his desk, with her arms crossed and an equally wicked scowl on her face. What reason did she have to glower at him? If anything, if the horror stories from the other teachers were to be believed. Rumor had it, last Halloween, a girl with a permanently gloomy demeanor had attempted to bring butcher bones in as decorations. While the girl in question didn't have any bones on hand now, Mr. Teacher willed himself to be brave. He cleared his throat once, twice.
Tabby, can I help you?
Tammy, can I help you? Can I be of assistance?
Tabby took a deep breath, sensing the reservations Mr. Teacher had towards her. She was glad Caleb was with her.
I don't think you should let Eden decorate skeletons instead of me.
Mr. Teacher stared at her in stunned silence. Tabby sped onwards, afraid to lose her courage.
He's clearly a bully, and if you side with him, you're a bad teacher.
Mr. Teacher furrowed his brow, lip trembling ever so slightly. Ouch. He was hurt by Tabby's words more than neither of them had probably expected. She could probably sniff out his people-pleasing tendencies, but he could just as easily put those away, especially to call out students who had stepped out of line.
Look, I'm not sure why you wouldn't let Eden get to his locker, or why you said he was scary looking. Yes, I heard what you said.
Tabby glared at him, readying herself for an accusation. Mr. Teacher braced himself against his desk, trying to remain calm at the obvious hatred being beamed towards him.
I don't know what's going on between the two of you, but I'm going to call Eden here and we can resolve this once and for all.
No, I don't want to be near him. I want you to listen. Caleb agrees with me too.
Tabby gestured at the spot next to her, only to be met with empty space. Mr. Teacher's frown deepened and he flexed his fingers in agitation. What kind of bluff was she trying to pull? There were no other students left in the room.
I'm sure we can resolve this right now.
Mr. Teacher got up from his desk, glad to be out of range from Tabby's burning gaze. He poked his head out of the classroom, hoping Eden hadn't wandered off already. Luckily, the boy was still close by, chatting with a familiar green-haired student. Mr. Teacher felt vindicated at seeing Caleb out in the hallway. Clearly, Tabby had been mistaken.
Eden, could you step inside for a moment?
Eden raised his eyebrows, but didn't hesitate to re-enter the classroom.
What's this about?
No!
Use your words, Tabby.
Tabby exhaled loudly. From the outside, she appeared to be flaring her nostrils in deep frustration.
You took the decorations I wanted. Again!
Eden shrugged.
No biggie. Let's do it together after class.
No biggie? Yes, biggie! You always get what you want.
Huh? Like when?
You get away with everything!
Right? Do you not remember the locker this morning?
Like that time you put gum in my hair and I had to cut off my pigtails.
Oh, that's fucked up. No, that's actually, those are huge. Those took a while to grow.
When did I do that? I haven't even chewed gum since the 3rd grade.
Wait, 3rd grade, they're in middle school. So it's been at least 3 years?
Oh, wait. Oh, that was you? I totally forgot.
Yeah, now's not the time to... This isn't the type of person you can laugh it off with. Tabby is not that kind of person.
That's
right?
Okay, I'm sorry.
It's not funny! And Caleb agrees.
Caleb? What's Caleb got to do with this?
Mr. Teacher pinched the bridge of his nose, feeling an uncomfortable tingling in his brow, like a headache was setting in. Or worse, a migraine. Children were always so noisy. He hoped they would settle down soon. Not that they ever did. Never fast enough, never listening to his pleas to be quiet.
Be quiet.
But
Be quiet.
Tabby and Eden both fell silent, unused to this harsher tone from their homeroom teacher.
There. Was that so hard?
No, it didn't need to be. All those years of being a doormat for kids much too young to know better than him. Waves of resentment washed over him, built up from countless instances of holding his tongue, of being the adult. That's right, he was in charge, not them. He needed to reclaim his space and authority.
Both of you, get out.
Teach? You look a bit weird. You know, pukey.
Using Mr. Teacher as a distraction, I see.
That was low, even for Eden.
Please, get out.
Mr. Teacher's voice was strained and whispery. Eden probably hurt his feelings.
Aight. See you later, Teach.
What a jerk.
Mr. Teacher clutched his head, gritting his teeth.
Oh, should I get a nurse?
He didn't trust himself to speak. Instead, he shut his eyes tight, hoping Tabby would be magically gone when he opened them again. Let me think. So getting Mr. Teacher's attention would do something, but we are Tabby, and Tabby would hover awkwardly in silence. He could hear Tabby shuffling from foot to foot in front of his desk. It also sounded like she was opening her mouth and closing it again every few seconds, which irritated him even more. Mr. Teacher's eyes snapped open. The sight of Tabby still standing around and glaring at him made his blood pressure spike. Why was that brat still here? Hadn't he told her to leave? She never listened, always thinking she was in the right, always thinking she knew best, a little brat like her. The tingling got worse, making it harder for Mr. Teacher to think clearly. Only one line of thought made it through the mental fog.
Mr. Teacher?
Tabby shrunk back fearfully as Mr. Teacher smiled, a too wide smile with too many teeth.
You brats just love testing my patience, don't you? That students get detention, but that would be a bigger punishment for me than you. After all, children who don't listen are no better than vermin.
Okay, that's a little rough.
And as we know from history, vermin deserve a far worse punishment. Can you guess what that is?
Death? Tabby backed away, bumping immediately into a desk. The blood seemed to drain from her face.
Oh, come on, Tabby. There's a fun little sticker in it for you.
He's finally snapped.
Tabby, you should have paid more attention in class instead of scowling all the time. The answer is extermination.
Oh, snap. Tabby jumped out of the way as Mr. Teacher's brand new claws just barely missed her arm.
Claws?
The desk that Tabby had just been standing in front of crumpled beneath Mr. Teacher's weight.
Oh.
No. What landed and stared back at Tabby from the wreckage with cool reptilian eyes was not Mr. Teacher. Instead, Mr. Monster! He, or it, lunged at her once more. She dove under the nearest desk, but she didn't dare to stay there for too long. Tabby crawled towards the next set of tables as fast as her poor athletic record allowed. You are some kind of wonky looking dude. I like the scales, but they also kind of look like fur, which is neat. It's like a were-lizard. The desk she had just been under flew across the room and shattered against the wall. With desperation and fear coursing through her, Tabby scrambled to her feet.
Please, 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 please!
Gunning it for the classroom door, Tabby pounced on the doorknob.
Of course, it's locked! Of course!
Of course.
Why would it work?
Right?
Everything else seems to be going wrong. Why not this too?
From behind, she could hear warbled snarling before a dark shape sailed overhead. Smash. The pulverized debris of what had once been a desk rained down on her. Tabby shrieked and covered her head. She tried the doorknob again, despite knowing it was no use.
Help! Someone! Help!
Tabby whipped around, pressing herself into the door like she might be able to phase through it. The monster approached her with a bloodthirsty aura and clever eyes. He had her cornered, and he knew it. At the sight of this misshapen, uncanny, too-sharp grin, Tabby's legs gave out, like her body knew the fight would be over soon. She couldn't blame them. Everyone always abandoned her in the end. Why try anymore?
It's useless. I'm useless.
There was nothing more she could do. It's not like Mr. Teacher was ever going to listen. He never had before, so why would this time be any different? She had just wished, for once in her miserable life, someone could have really, truly stayed by her side.
Hiya, Tabby. I'm... What the crap?
Mr. Monster chased after the new nuisance, his jaws snapping wildly. Whatever the tiny creature was, it zipped around the room in a panic.
I'm Strength, and I'm here to guide you on your... What the bleep is this? Tabitha Bones, do something!
Tabby gaped at the little guy in alarm. She had no energy left. The fight was as good as over. What did it want from her?
Don't just stand there! Help!
Tabby took one long look at Mr. Monster's terrifying teeth and the tiny red being running around the desks, and hightailed it to the corner of the room as far from them as possible.
It's a goddamn monster! I'm just a little girl! What are you anyway?
I'm a pixie, and I can't handle this on my own!
Mr. Monster swiped at Strength, who darted into a high corner of the ceiling, temporarily out of his reach. The pixie huffed, eyeing Mr. Monster nervously. He threw an equally nervous glance at Tabby. Suddenly and unexpectedly, Strength brightened up, snapping his finger.
Yeah, I've got it. I'll just give you some candy.
Strength whipped out a sparkly wand the size of his body from who knows where. Ooh.
Candy? How the hell is a piece of candy gonna help us right now? Also, I don't take candy from strangers.
That's good practice.
Eat it or we'll die! It's magic!
That's what they want you to think. Mr. Monster pounced at Strength, swiping his claws at the shiny object.
No toys in class.
The wand flew out of Strength's hand and spun towards Tabby.
Use the wand!
Tabby grabbed it and let out a few practice swings, preparing to bash whatever came her way with it.
Not like that!
Despite zipping through the air to avoid Mr. Monster's jaws, Strength's voice reached Tabby with surprisingly clear instructions.
The candy, Tabby! You have to eat the candy!
While Mr. Monster was still fixated on Strength, Tabby weighed her options. You know what? We're in desperation. Eat the candy angrily. We're not happy about eating the candy, but it's a literal pixie that showed up. Tabby gripped the wand with fear and fury. She hated being told what to do, but if it was a choice between eating suspicious candy and the jaws of a monster, she'd take the jawbreaker any day. But it had better not be strawberry flavored. That expression is perfect. I feel like any modern day person that suddenly became a magical girl or a magical boy, yeah, I feel like this is about this is about it. Tabby tried to reorient herself in space, frantically looking for the whereabouts of the monster in the room. Mr. Monster stared back at Tabby, a bewildered expression on his face. He didn't seem to be coming after her just yet, but Tabby quickly scanned the room for any sign of strength. Had he been eaten already? She had been ready to rip into him, demand an explanation for, well, everything. She glanced down at herself, trying to pinpoint the source of the soft jingling noise she kept hearing.
What is this?
A giant pom-pom obstructed part of her view, beyond which all she could see was a gaudy mix of red and black.
What the hell is this? Is this a joke? I knew it. This is a goddamn prank, isn't it?
No, that's your ass-kicking outfit.
Well, that's new. It's okay, everything will be okay, we can work with this.
Strength continued rambling, but was nowhere to be seen. Was his voice coming from inside Tabby's brain?
Great. I definitely imagined him.
Well, it, seems like we're stuck together. Yup, I can't move at all, and that's totally okay. I'll just take you through everything. They didn't warn me about this, but it's fine, it's fine.
God, this is it. I finally cracked. Even my imaginary friends are freaking out.
Tabby started to shake, half crying, half laughing at the ridiculous situation. The bells on her horrific outfit jingled with her tremors. Mr. Monster tilted his head at the sound, eyes glinting.
Watch out!
Mr. Monster was before her in one pounce, his claws raked through the air, straight towards Tabby's head. By pure instinct, Tabby dodged the attack, doing a backflip across the room.
Huh? Did I just do that? How?
That's the power of strength.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have strength. I can barely do a push-up.
Well, you got strength now.
You do now, Tabs. With me at the helm, we're unstoppable. Now get us out of here.
Yeah. Tabby did feel a little stronger than usual, but a backflip? Maybe the candy was magic.
What else can I do?
Ooh, we're gonna wrangle that monster. Taking advantage of his hindered speed, Tabby snatched the string of skulls and caution tape off the walls. Now she was the one stampeding towards Mr. Monster. Tabby grinned, knowing he wouldn't be able to lay a single claw on her. She made several tight turns around the beast, wrapping the decorations around his legs with speed and agility. Mr. Monster thrashed about violently, but the makeshift binding seemed to hold for now.
Wait. Oh, there's something familiar about that monster. Those sparkles, maybe? Isn't that magic?
The decorations around Mr. Monster's legs began to tear.
Ah! Tabby, that's not gonna hold! Quick, use the wand!
On cue, Tabby swung the wand at Mr. Monster and beat him with it.
Not like that! Wave it around!
Tabby aggressively waved the wand at Mr. Monster, managing to smack him in the face again. Mr. Monster slumped back, eyes rolling around in pain.
I said around! Like, around!
Tabby moved her arm in a wider circle, swinging the wand above her head like it was a lasso. A soft glow enveloped both of them. As if by magic, Tabby felt the ridiculous outfit she was wearing pop off. Suddenly, she was back in her regular clothes.
Glad that worked.
Mr. Monster's whimpers faded into the groan of a rapidly approaching middle-aged teacher. The soft light dissipated. Mr. Teacher blinked once, twice. He struggled instinctively against the decorations, binding his legs, and then looked around the room, horrified. On cue, someone pounded at the door. Miraculously, the locked door swung open and students poured into the room. It was clear from the sound levels that a small crowd had formed outside. Gossipy chatter turned immediately into horrified gasps. They were audible from the hall and maybe even the other classrooms.
I thought I felt an earthquake or something. We couldn't get in.
What even happened here? Where's Mr. Teacher? Tabby, what's going on?
I'm so weak.
Mr. Teacher? Are you alright?
Shut up, Jonathan. The other students quickly took in the sight of Tabby looming over their bound and bruised teacher. Shredded construction paper and wood dust fluttered through the air. Tabby's pride at having defeated a monster quickly shifted into nervous apprehension.
That Tabby is something else. Did she seriously ruin our decorations?
How is that what you're worried about? Mr. Teacher looks like he's on the verge of tears.
Is that really his name?
I'm okay. I'm alright. Okay. Oh, I think I might have broken a rib. Give me one moment.
The other students removed the decorations binding Mr. Teacher's legs, wincing when the paper crafts tore in the process.
Did she beat him up? I didn't know Tabby could be so... I can't even think of a good word.
So horrible.
Shut up, Jonathan. The last accusation finally shook Tabby out of her stupor.
It's not my fault. It was Mr. Teacher. He wasn't himself. He started throwing stuff at the decorations.
That's impossible. Mr. Teacher wouldn't do that. He loves Halloween.
Alright, Den, you're starting to lose points here, bud, okay? Because here's the thing, none of you apparently were able to see into the classroom, so none of you know what the fuck happened. And I can see in the background, right all over here, giant fucking claw marks, okay?
You weren't there. He turned into a monster.
Exactly.
I can't believe you do all this and lie about it. We thought you were cool.
Jonathan, I need you to close. I don't need you to shut up. I need you to shut your entire face. From chin to forehead, shut it.
Now, hold on, guys. Let's hear Mr. Teacher's side of things. Is Tabby telling the truth?
You know what, Stu? You're alright still. You're still alright.
I'll be in the nurse's office.
Mr. Teacher got up with multiple groans and winces, gratefully accepting the support of nearby students.
Why won't he tell them?
Doesn't seem like he's in any shape to say much of anything right now, Tabby.
I can't believe this. I can't believe you guys think it was all my fault.
Whose fault is it then? No one else was in here.
Jonathan, what'd I say about your face?
Just calm down, Tabs. If you explain yourself well enough, I'm sure they'll listen. Take a deep breath. In, out, and elaborate.
I already did elaborate. There's nothing left to say. I was in the room with Mr. Teacher, and he turned into that horrible beast. He was crushing desks and everything.
Real nice story, Tabby. But what does that have to do with wrecking our decorations?
I'm going to point you to the claw marks. I'm going to point you to the claw marks again. I'm going to point you to some more claw marks. Anyways.
My poor paper pumpkins.
We're gonna get disqualified now.
Oh man, we have the whole Student party. Haha, student body. Fuck you, Jonathan.
But I didn't wreck them! And I wouldn't have even been put in this situation if it wasn't for...
Enough! This back and forth is getting us nowhere.
Caleb stepped forward and stood between her and the crowd of students. Despite his outburst, he didn't seem angry and smiled kindly at them instead.
I'm sure nobody meant any harm. Things happen, right? Why don't we all just drop the unpleasantness?
For a split second, he directed his smile at Tabby.
We can work out the details later. I'll talk to Tabby, and...
We'll go check on Mr. Teacher.
Fantastic idea. Just what I was going to say.
I'll go too.
Thank you, Stu. You're a real trooper. As for everyone else, shoo. I promise. We've got this handled.
Yeah, Jonathan, shoo. At Caleb's authoritative direction, the group that had formed dissipated. After a few seconds, Tabby was alone with the green-haired boy.
So, is this a friend of yours?
What? No! I don't hang out with other people.
Right? Who does that?
How did I know?
Ignoring Strength's comment, Tabby focused her attention on Caleb, unsure what he wanted with her. Or if she could still trust him after he disappeared on her. The last thought faded away as Tabby noticed Caleb had a gremlin of his own on his shoulder. Unlike Strength, Caleb's pixie companion had a quieter energy. He stared at Tabby with a critical and sleepy eyes.
Looks like there was a lot of destruction.
Indeed, and yet our prize seems to have gotten away. For now.
Who are you again?
I am Caleb. We spoke earlier this morrow.
Why does he talk like that? Did he always talk like that?
And I don't think so.
No, not you. That. The little guy.
Why, he's just a little fella. Look at him.
The name's Magician, and you are Tabitha.
I like how he says it like, I'm letting you know who you are, because you don't know.
Hold on. Why does everyone know my name? My full name!
Caleb spoke again, pushing his glasses higher up on the bridge of his nose.
You have my apologies. It would seem as though my plans have slightly... what's the word? Misfired.
Misfired? Misfired?
You call a giant lizard monster a misfire?
That's more than a misfire, you weirdo! You sitched that crazy monster on me?
The answer to that is ambiguous. Yes and no. Both can be, and indeed are, true.
Can you cut the crap? Explain yourself!
Yeah.
And use words under 4 syllables, damn it!
Yeah. We got smooth brains in here, okay? I only got like 5 wrinkles on this thing.
My intentions all along have been to get that horrible bully in detention. He's a menace. An annoying, terrible menace. Like a cicada in an otherwise perfectly brewed cup of coffee.
Caleb's tirade came to a sudden halt as Magician wordlessly tugged on his collar. In response, the boy tilted his head to listen as the pixie whispered something into his ear.
What's that? The metaphor makes no sense. Like a cicada in a screen door. All he does is make a racket without any care of who he's scaring.
There we go. He stopped for a moment, seeking the pixie's approval. Quiet. When Magician nodded again, Caleb took it as a permission to continue.
As you can see, I'm also a friend of Pixies. My most powerful ally is Magician, the pixie of manipulate.
Magician gave Caleb's collar a sharp tug.
A magical influence.
You mean the pixie of manipulation. Ah, yes, crafty schemes. The Loki.
I can stack any situation in my favor, with the extra power to trigger transformations, often of an unpleasant kind.
Ah.
The assignment was clear from the start. Get Eden to fight the teacher, or wet himself trying. Get Eden sent to detention, ruin Eden's reputation, book a vacation to celebrate, I don't know.
With each word that left Caleb's mouth, Strength's round little face twisted into an increasingly worried frown.
If that was your master plan, you failed, Four Eyes. You got me in hot water instead. Your stupid scheme was super convoluted. You think a big Dumbo like Eden could have survived those teeth long enough to get detention? Even if you wanted to terrify him, you didn't have to deadlock the door.
Right?
I could have been killed.
The door?
Yeah, the locked door?
But that's never happened before. Our power doesn't work on inanimate objects.
I told you it was a terrible plan, Caleb. You should have listened to me.
Man, you really are a little manipulator, aren't you? Oh, excuse me. Caleb frowned, clearing his throat.
I didn't mean for you to get involved, of course, but you were never in any real harm. I would have stepped in, you understand, had your powers not kicked in.
Right.
Everything was still within my calculations. And for your sake, we had to keep the monster contained. It would have been a disaster if the beast rampaged through the school. You might have been blamed for some kind of horrible witchcraft.
So, you were just looking out for me?
Exactly. You think I would have just abandoned you in your time of need?
Yes.
Nice.
Of course not. I had to play my cards right for our sake, which unfortunately involves subjecting you to close proximity with that orange-haired wretch. But he was almost in our grasp. Look how close we got.
Indeed. Imagine what the two of you could achieve together, fully powered up.
Yes, the heights we could reach, the punishment we could inflict.
The world would be ours. Anyways.
Or we don't think about that. I'm a big fan of talking things out instead.
Your execution was patchy at best, but I can agree that it would have been pretty entertaining to see that guy suffer for once.
Yes, I knew you would understand. Only we can bring that candy gobbling fool to his knees.
So, what did Eden do to you?
What didn't that bully do?
Not another one.
He got up to every bit of mischief in the book. I wouldn't be surprised if he'd commit arson on my house, if given the chance.
See, actually, now I'm wondering if Caleb does actually have an issue with Eden, and these are all real things, or if it's just him saying all of this and putting on an act so that Tabitha is on his team.
I swear, it was that bad.
Yes, finally, someone else who understood what she had been through.
Right? He's always getting up to something. It's so frustrating.
It's always like this. He starts the fight and then kicks you while you're down.
Tabby nodded, eyes glistening with vindication.
Things are different now, though. Even a wounded dog will bite. And anyone who would kick a poor, innocent, bone-loving puppy should expect the gnawing of teeth. The teeth of vengeance.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is, technically, we're not the ones in the wrong here.
Obviously, it's all Eden's fault, of course.
Eden is an annoying prick. So when I argued with Eden, it was probably his fault.
Sure, yeah, definitely.
Huh?
Yes.
In that case, what I really need to do is to use my powers to purge evil.
Oh, man, they're both delusional.
Yes.
What?
Like you said, there's nothing more evil than tormenting an already tortured soul.
Tabby grinned, gleefully coming to a conclusion.
So if Eden is evil, then I can blast him!
Yes!
Yes!
No! Are you crazy, Tabby? You're not gonna blast some random kid!
He's not just some random kid, Strength! He's my rival! He's demented and cruel!
Arch nemesis, even.
Just look at him! Who knows what kind of fucked up and Wicked plans are brewing under those cheap, box-dyed highlights. He's asking for a blasting.
What? He's asking for a blasting. Man, that's a line.
If you blast him, you'll go to magic jail.
He's asking for a highly legal and purely metaphorical blasting.
There we go. Now you're playing the game.
Well, as fun as it would be to vaporize every annoying person on Earth, there are other ways to get revenge on them.
Fun? Wait, revenge?
What's wrong with some healthy spite strength? You look like someone pissed in your cereal.
Tabby, we can't be talking about the same stuff here. Vanquishing evil is cool, but you're getting it all wrong. Evil isn't just whatever you don't like.
I mean, depending on how intense about it you are.
Well, it seems you're being outvoted at the moment. None of us like it.
Besides, vengeance is the strongest emotion there is. Real strength happens when you want to move heaven and earth for a just cause, right?
And our cause is most certainly just.
An 8th grade boy.
Yeah, right.
An 8th grade boy!
An 8th grade boy. All right. Well, till next time. We'll get to the next day.